Welcome back to Modern Mondays here at Guardian Games in Portland, Oregon. I am Travis Cooper, hanging out from Portland Paper, and I'm here with
Tim Chan.
And yeah, we're bringing you the start of round number 2 of 4 here for Modern. We've got Sam Beadle hanging out, playing Abzan. Sam told me it was like the rock with white, more of a junk deck than your sort of Abzan combo decks, and he's playing our favorite named player in Portland, Xenon Martin, on Grixis Shadow.
Well, already, I think game one. Sam,
I see an opening hand of 3 Lily on the Veils for Sam there.
Yeah, I think a Tireless Tracker and a Path? Or is that a Marsh?
So we started a little bit late for this round because we had a bunch of artists that were busy drawing round number 1.
Oh, yeah.
And we get a mulligan. Sam decides 3 Lily on the Veils is not where he wants to be.
I don't know if Sam's on the play or not. I probably give Junk the advantage, at least game 1, because they are definitely the grindier deck, and they should have almost all the answers for Grixis Shadows, all his creatures.
Lingering Souls acts as a pretty good roadblock unless Shadow is able to have Teamer Battle Rage, which is interesting. I've seen some lists lately that are playing 3 or 4 Battle Rages, which it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think kind of have to combat the linear strategies with more Teamer Battle Rage, right?
That makes sense. Just be a little bit faster.
Do you know if Sam is on Fatal Pushes, Path, a Mix, or Assassin's Trophy?
Yeah, I don't know the deck list, but I imagine maybe why you would play the junk version is access to Push and Path, and Trophy isn't, I mean, it's a good catch-all answer, but is not the best removal for creatures.
Oh, looks like Sam is on the play.
Okay, no turn 1 hand disruption spell.
I do see a Maelstrom Pulse in Sam's hand. There's a Verdant Catacombs on top of Sam's deck.
I think it was a basic swamp, maybe one of the GP promos. See how sharp my eyes are.
The foils kind of get me.
Alright, we have a fetch and a shock here. Typical.
We're going to see a Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize are an Inquisition, or usually if you're going to Thought Scour, then you would do it at your opponent's end step, so. Yep, we have a Thoughtseize. Looks like we have a Maelstrom Pulse, a Collective Brutality, a Forest, and another land and a Field of Ruin. Couldn't quite see.
You wanted me to have that, didn't you? Yep. I'll look at your hands.
Alright, Sam's gonna check out Xenon's hand, grab a Stubborn Denial, and our leftovers are Street Race, Shadow, Angler, Snapcaster, and land.
Right, well, that's it's gonna be a pass from me. I'll pass the turn.
I'll cycle through it.
I think it's going to be rough for Sam because, like we saw, he only has lands left in his hand. We're probably going to see Angler.
Abzan or Junk does top deck pretty well, though.
It does.
As long as they're not the hand disruption spells. And even those aren't totally the worst now. I think Xenon's gonna... Well, I was gonna say play 1 threat, but I might get 2 threats in this turn.
Yeah, I think. Well, Sam's only going to be able to get 1 answer.
Right.
This next turn, so yeah, might as well just go for it. Especially once he lost that. What did Sam take with Collective
Stubborn Denial?
Stubborn Denial, yeah. Once he took that, I think Xenon's just got to go in all in plan.
I mean, that's a pretty good turn, too. You have a 2 5/5s out there.
Yes. Oh.
They're both really big.
5-5 and a 5-5, I think. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, 5-5.
So Sam could slow it down and hopefully Xenon, I mean, kind of fog it.
Fog 1 creature.
1 creature. Well, you might spend that 1 creature attack, finish off Lily, right? And then if he has a 3rd land, he has Snap and Stubborn Denial available next turn.
Yeah, that is quite the amount of pressure to put on by turn 2.
Last hope.
Oh, you're right. It was a GP promo.
Shadow at a minimum.
No, -2.
Oh, okay.
So,
Return
yeah.
creature.
Oh.
that's gonna be good.
All right, Sam concedes there. Yeah, hard to deal with 10 power on turn 2. If that was a Lily on the Veil, it might have allowed for
My
Yeah.
turn was gonna be
more
right, and
plays
he got
there,
it.
but-
Alright, now we're good.
Yeah.
All right, go into the sideboard. You know, it's hard to say. I'm not entirely sure what junk is going to have on the board. I'd imagine maybe some amount of sweepers.
Mm-hmm.
If you're leaning heavily on black, you might go for something like Damnation, or perhaps those are in the main deck. Who knows? Maybe some more value creatures or planeswalkers. See an explosive, some more brutalities. Explosive seems alright in the matchup.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a flavor. Is that a Nissa?
That is a Nissa.
Yeah, Vital Force, I believe. It's kind of spicy. I wonder what matchup he brings that in.
Maybe anything probably where you want a different threat that's not a creature. That just seems like, in general, a powerful planeswalker.
Yeah.
And can kind of deal 5 damage out of nowhere. Seems like Xenon just had an exceptionally quick draw there and Sam mulliganed without any removal spells.
Yeah. Well, the Thoughtseize did not help at all.
So for Grixis Shadow, are there any particular cards that you're bringing in?
I've never felt so bad in my sideboard in a build this before.
That's
I could
Can't really think of many great creatures or great spells coming out of the versus the Shadow sideboard that.
I think I saw a Staticaster hanging out there, but Xenon didn't see any white spells or
Yeah.
lands, so
Yeah, we still saw green black.
if I had seen white, I would be thinking Lingering Souls. I might bring in a Staticaster. I would be tempted to bring in any number of Kolaghan's commands, and
This is a grinding matchup.
yeah, and or Lily on the Last Hopes.
See a pull one Kolaghan's command, like you said.
Yeah, Lingering Souls can be really tough for Shadow to get through.
Ooh, Sam is bringing that Nissa in.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Shadow is going to take themselves down pretty low, and then if you're able to kind of like cheese a Planeswalker in there, that's quite the threat. Pretty light sideboarding for both players. Seems like only
Yeah.
2 or 3 cards.
Well, either, Graveyard Hate's not important here. Especially Sam's version, obviously, he's playing Koi, so he's not going to be playing Recipe, so Surgical Extraction is not going to be great against Grixis Death Shadow here. And same for Xenon, like, they're not going to bring in Graveyard Hate against each other. There's really not much going on.
Also, I do think that is something that players tend to do in Modern, is over sideboard. Where generally you kind of want to have your deck built so that you're swapping out maybe 3 to at most 5 cards.
Yes.
Unless you have unless the matchup is particularly polarizing and you have a lot of dead cards, like you have Terminus and Path versus a combo deck or something. But yeah.
Well, especially in this case, both decks I consider mid-range, right? So their decks are already built to fight other mid-range decks, so you don't, and like you said, there doesn't need to be that much changing in the sideboard.
That feels kind of like Grixis Delver versus Grixis Control in Legacy or something.
Yeah. Ooh. I think Sam stuck on only 1 or 2 land.
Xenon, I think, had some cyclers, but not really. I think maybe had 1 land to work on there and some bobbles and Street
I like
Race.
keeping one-landers, but not today.
Yeah, but
Not today.
it's not
No
not-
landers, sorry.
Yeah.
I think Sam may. I don't know if
Sometimes,
Sam's running the
spicy
spell
game,
bombs
and
main board, or he brought it from the main board, sideboard. Sorry.
I could see if you're playing Abzan and Lingering Souls, you probably have some amount of Grim players on the deck, and I could see Spell Bombs being a main deck inclusion, especially with all the Arc-like decks floating around, where you just, it's a cantrip that adds to your Delirium count that then has a really heavy upside in some matchups.
Is he playing Grim Player? I haven't seen Grim Player in a long time.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
I would think so. If you're playing Lingering Souls and Abzan, there might be a couple Grim players hanging out.
I did see Tyler's tracker, so maybe Sam's just going for more value.
Okay. All right, turn 1 Thoughtseize for Sam.
Organize this.
And it looks like we have an opposing Thoughtseize, a Shadow, a Fatal Push, and a Thought Scour, and 2 Water Graves.
I think.
I do like the original art on Thoughtseize. I think these might be the Masters reprints, but I like the flavor of the Fairy Whispering.
I think you're right. On the printing, that is. But yes,
Yeah.
I do agree on the art as well.
Just gonna take the Thoughtseize.
Thoughtseize takes Thoughtseize. Alright, so that Shadow's a little bit of ways from coming down, but we have a Shock into a Thoughtseize to take Xenon to 14, and see a Spellbomb, Tireless Tracker, Tarmogoyf, Field of Ruin, and can you see what that land is on the, is that a temple?
That's a newer Temple
new
Garden.
Temple Garden?
Yes.
Oh.
I think, just surprised to see the white.
I'll take that.
Wow, okay. I think I would have taken the Tireless Tracker.
Xenon grabs the Spellbomb, maybe because if,
He gets Angler or...
yeah, if Xenon took Goyf, then Sam just plays Spellbomb and cycles it.
I guess Gwyff is only a 2/3 right now.
And Xenon has a push in hand, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there's the Tarmogoyf. And there are currently no fetch lands in the graveyard, which is not something that happens often in Modern.
Imagine Xenon's just going to do Thought Scour and Fatal Push during Sam's turn. So, did Sam draw another Goyf?
How did we play this?
What do you mean? Oh.
Oh, Sam did not have a green
So
source.
would you like me to play my shock land and return this?
Yeah, that's
Like,
fine. That's
okay.
fine.
Okay, it looks like there's an easy fix here. Both
Yeah.
players know Sam had the Temple Garden in hand, and so Sam's just going to go down 2 life and swap those out. Looks like I missed that one too. There's a little bit of, those little bit glare on some foily lands there, and I sort of just assumed, but I assumed incorrectly. Does not really make a difference, and we're going to get a Fatal Push on the Goyf and a Tracker.
I'm gonna Thought Scour myself.
Yep.
Island and Looting go to the bin. Street Wraith is getting cycled. Right, be able to play at least a 1/1 Death Shadow.
He does have 2 Anglers in hand.
See a Goyf and a Scavenging Ooze off the Thoughtseize.
Imagine he just takes the Goyf because he could just Angler this turn. Well, and plus Sam's stuck with 1 green right now, so Scavenging Ooze is kind of too slow.
Yeah, but if you take the Ooze and you can Angler, then you can reduce card types in the graveyard as well. But it feels like,
We'll go to 10 off that.
yep, Xenon takes a Goyf. And here comes a Zombie Fish. I think that has to be among my favorite creature types, is Zombie Fish.
Yeah.
I like Petromander a lot too.
Well, just the Simic creatures from the Ravnica Legion set. Because I think it was a elf, lizard,
Shaman, maybe?
shaman. Yeah, the mystic snake reprint.
Gurmag Angler, Legacy, Modern, and Pauper staple.
Yep. Not much standard play at the time.
Play another tireless tracker.
All right, tracker number 2. Just need a land here, Sam. And 3/3 Death Shadow, that is going to be able to turn into a 6/6. Swinging in for 5 here.
Yeah, I imagine if I was Sam, I just hope for another land. And you start pumping these tireless trackers and drawing cards.
But instead we draw another tireless tracker.
At least this way you can trade 2 off, because that Death Shadow's still only a 3/3 right now. Well, potentially a 6/6 with the fetch land.
We had the option of passing and then Field of Ruining for 2 clues.
I'll go to 9.
Yep.
And especially if Xenon grabs a red source here, I might be tempted to do that.
Just do it now.
Yeah, not have Xenon with access to casting, flashing back Faithless Looting or casting other red spells next turn.
Does Death Shadow not play a mountain?
Nope, it pretty much just plays 1 island and 1 swamp.
Okay.
So on it's up.
I think we may even be down an island in that exile pile from a Thought Scour, which is an awkward thing that can happen when you're playing Thought Scour. All right.
Okay, so Sam does see that play. I imagine Sam's going to get a forest. Or, well, I guess he could get swamp or a lily.
And quite a ways off from Nissa, which may be the only double green spell that's in the deck, but I think we might have some amount of lilies or maybe even Cletus I saw in there, so.
I think you gotta go for the swamp. You just gotta...
Imagine that's your clue token.
I think that's a swamp, yeah.
No, I actually have a... that's a clue.
Still 27 minutes left in rounds, quite a bit of time.
I think Sam should have 2 clues.
Yes,
here.
that is correct.
Thought Scour myself.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam remembers.
All right, 2 lands to the graveyard, a card drawn off the Thought Scour.
Bubble you.
Yep.
And Xenon wants to know what Sam's going to draw. It is another Field of Ruin.
I imagine you just have to trade with your 2 tireless tracker for 1 of the creatures.
So Death Shadow is a 6/6.
No, it's a 4/4.
4/4.
But no matter what, Sam is going to lose 2 creatures if you double block any creature that Xenon controls.
Yeah, that's an interesting call here. Plus, there's an unknown hanging out in Xenon's hand that Xenon hasn't cast, and so if you're Sam, you might have it on your mind that that could be a removal spell.
Yeah.
Most of the other spells in the deck, except for threats like another Gurmag Angler, you might.
Yeah. Yeah, Sam's going to risk it.
Sam goes to 2.
Oh yeah, it was the other Angler we knew, yeah. So... pretty much Sam has to top deck a removal spell and be able to crack a clue. Which is asking a lot.
Yep.
Because once he's able, well, even when he cracks the clue, he's not going to be able to trade with any of the anglers.
Yeah, we're going to have to get running removal spells here.
And we knew it was a land. I mean, he could play the Scavengers, still crack the clues, and be able to trade at least with the Death Shadow. And that way you also draw a card from when you do lose a couple creatures. I guess other option Sam has, he could crack the clue now. But I think that's the riskier play.
Yeah.
I think you have to play the ooze first, then crack the clue during Xenon's attack.
Do you think your opponent is more likely to draw or have a removal spell than you are likely to draw a removal spell, I think is that question.
Well, even if you crack the clue and get a removal spell, Xenon still has a chance to get a removal spell, right? So the safer play would be play the ooze first. Oh, well, I guess this works. But he's not going to be able to crack the clue this way. I think he has to play the ooze in this case because you're not going to be able to trade with anything. You're going to lose all your creatures. Xenon's going to keep all 3 of his creatures.
Yeah, your line does make a lot of sense. At least, hopefully, if Xenon has nothing, like no fetch land or shock land, then you're going to get a shadow and trade.
Crack.
Okay, he's going to crack first.
It's like an Inquisition.
A little unfortunate. But at least he'll be able to trade with a Death Shadow. But Xenon could elect just to attack with both fish. Right? He could decide, I'm just going to hold the fish back, force him to lose multiple creatures.
We have a Snapcaster and push, though, so...
Okay, yep.
Alright, that's going to wrap up that match here. It looks like we have about 23 minutes left, so we're going to try to find another match going on out there, and we will return shortly for some more Modern here.
Not what I needed.